Hello, everyone. This is Lori from Grammy's Keepsakes, and I just finished this luscious journal, and it is a painted cotton cover book. I covered a Reader's Digest book, and I've got a modeling paste. I used a stencil and a modeling paste to get the design, and then I put the cotton fabric over it and then sanded it. And I do have a tutorial on my channel showing how I do that process. But this little book has 4 yummy signatures and a special back envelope. So that's why it doesn't have 5. 5 is my typical signature, but I put this expandable pocket back here, and so it's taking up the space of another signature. But this is my July design team project for Studio 28E, and I've used the Blueberry Eco Dyed kit and also the Ephemera kit. And I did use navy cardstock to put file folder type anchors on each of the signatures. So they've got tabs. And here on the front cover, I've used one of the blueberry pages, and I did tea dye it. And I have a tea dyed library pocket, and then I put a little die cut that I cut out of the same navy cardstock with a library card. And I made this little envelope. It has a little die cut, and then I stamped and made my own label out of one of the ephemera pieces from the vintage kit. And it opens up, and I fussy cut out one of the vintage ephemera pieces to have it hiding back here. And inside the little pocket is just some notebook paper that is red cabbage dyed, so it has that blue tint to it. Okay, I know it fits in there. There we go. And here I have a pocket on this side with another piece of the ephemera, and it's all tea stained, so you have lots of room for journaling. Here's another one of those red cabbage dyed papers, and I have them throughout the whole journal, and the beautiful blueberry eco dyed pages. And you'll see a lot of the die cuts. This page is Braille, and yes, it's a real Braille page, has all the bumps, a lot of nice texture. And I folded the page up to create a pocket. And then on the pocket here, this is another of the ephemera pieces that you get in the kit. And I just cut some paper and stapled it in. Right here, I just used a long handle stapler. And so it's got 6 different pages, front and back, so 12 sides plus the insides of the folder. So quite a bit of journaling room in that. Then I have some tea-dyed office paper. And here I made a pocket out of another one of the ephemera pieces, and inside of it is another piece of ephemera. So you can journaling. And this is a piece of parchment type paper. I think it's officially called that erasable typing bond way back in the day, but it's like a parchment type feel to it. And this is another one of the ephemera pieces, and then I just tea dyed it so it looks really old. And then in the inside of each of the signatures, I made this envelope, and it's just a piece of cardstock, and then with wings or tabs, and after I stitched it in, then I just folded in the tabs and glued it on top and bottom, plus in the center. So there's two separate pockets. And this is out of one of the letters in the Ephemera Kit. And I just have it backed with cardstock. And I used navy blue thread to stitch around it. And then it has the navy die cuts. And they just slip right in. In the back pocket of the Braille page, I made another tag with one of the Eco Dyed, and I colored a reinforcement with Tim Holtz Distress ink and stitched around it, straight stitch and zigzag. And this is an inventory tag. Here I made another tag, and it's held on here with this paper clip. And I built this with a ticket base, and then I added some of the torn piece of the ephemera and just added some layers of lace and cheesecloth and a little tea bag and stitched a button on there. And that can be placed anywhere in the journal, of course. And the tag is just on cardstock and stitched. And here, the beginning of this signature is a fun little pocket. And inside I have a portion of a time card that I have coffee dyed. And that fits right inside. And on this page, we're still in the second signature, I used another piece of the ephemera and I folded it over to make a side pocket on both sides of this page. And here is one of my aluminum die cut embellishments that I painted or dyed with alcohol inks. And I'll put the link to that video. And this is one of the ephemera pieces. You can use that for journaling. And on this side I have another letter from the kit, and I've tea dyed it so you have more journaling space. In each of the signatures there's 2 pages of the Blueberry Eco Dyed. And here's another piece of the ephemera. And here I have a craft colored die cut. And here I made a paper clip out of a movie ad from 1950. And I harvested this when I was seeing my family in Minnesota. My sister-in-law and I got together and we did some crafting in her motorhome in front of her house. And she brought up a bunch of newspapers from the basement, and they were dated 1946 to 1950. And so we had fun cutting out a bunch of ads. So I made a paper clip out of that one. And here is just a distressed, I used Tim Holtz ink, and it's just a little coin envelope. There's nothing in it. It's just cute, and you can put whatever you'd like in that. And here I've got another one of those pockets in the center of the signature. And inside of this one, I left it large. So you can see the stitching. Maybe with the camera and the lighting, I don't know. But anyway, I made a little notebook with some fancy stitching at the top. And this is tracing paper that is tea-dyed. Piece of the ephemera. Some tea-dyed paper. Craft paper. It's like the Amazon packing paper. That's what this page is. Another tea-dyed. And here is a ledger page from the Ephemera Kit. And it's page number 33, I think. Not sure. But just kind of cool. And it just fits right inside. And you can decorate this if you'd like, or write on it. And here I cut out another piece of the ephemera. And they're two different pieces, but I kept them whole, like in one. And I just folded it over so that I have a pocket on both sides of the page. And it's an old bank check from May of 1928. So it's just kind of cool. And inside here is a shipping tag. I love all this stamping and the signature when they endorse the check. Super cool. And here's the front of the check. And another piece of the ephemera. And I took my edge punch and punched it so that it looks like it was ripped out of the notebook. And this folds over. And here on the front of the third signature, I have a 3-level pocket. Down here in the bottom, it's a scrap piece of the ephemera. And I just inked around it and decorated it with a die cut for journaling. And a postcard from 1911. And another piece of a different type of a time card. And this is number 46. So that can be decorated or journaled on. I love how this turned out. And here's another of my aluminum embellishments. And I just glued that on this page. And they're cut from soda pop cans. And again, I'll leave the link for that video. Here's a fun piece of ephemera from the kit. I love that. And a letter from the Conrad Hilton in Chicago. And what I did was I took two pieces of the letters, page 1 and page 2, and I glued them together to make a long pocket that opens on each end and have just a piece of the ephemera inside. Got to have room for extra journaling. And here in the center here, I've got two more pocket journal cards. And I use the craft cardstock again with the die cut and backed them on craft paper or cardstock. I just love that eco-dyed print. And here's the pocket on the other side of the letter. And I have a shrunk down version of the bank statement. For the ephemera, some of it is printed at 100% and some at 80%, so that I had more versatility and that you could play and have fun, because that's what it's all about. And here I have another little paper clip that holds this tag. And this one has the whale tail round tab punch. But the paper clip is from the ephemera, and then layers of lace and cheesecloth and tea bag with the little button. Simple but effective. And that can be put anywhere in the journal. When I was making the paper clips, I tried to get one for the left side and one for the right side. And the fourth signature has an envelope pocket and another of the metal aluminum die cuts. And the little pocket, I used Tim Holtz packaging for the back of this journaling card and just stamped over some Edith Holden book page with the die cut. Can't get my words today, goodness. And then there's just an image here from one of my wildflower books that I've cut out. So there's something pretty to look at when the card is not in the pocket. And that's so rich. I love it. My favorite kit. And here we have another piece of the ephemera with the postcard. Another die cut. And here I have another large pocket in the center of the signature, and inside is this special little ledger. And this is another one of the pages from the Ephemera Kit. And I printed it at 80% and made a little ledger out of it. So I've got some real ledger paper inside. And here's a receipt from 1941. And it is the original, it's the authentic. This is from the ephemera, from the kit. Another vintage ledger. This is from the kit. Another ledger page. Another ledger. And inside this little journal, the ledger journal, is another envelope. And this is part of the ephemera. And inside, see, this is addressed, the Albany from Denver. Here is the letter that was in it. And it's tea-dyed. So you can see from the writing that I used another copy of this to put on some of the paperclip ephemeras that I made. But I thought that was a fun little addition to the letter. And here you see the November 3rd of 1941, number 3339. And in the back here is another deposit ticket from the Ephemera Kit. And I took it and I also cut out one of the scraps and attached it. And I just used Tim Holtz tiny attacher and stapled it on the inside cover, so you've got journaling space. So this has a home right inside there. So you get a journal in a journal. You can't have enough room. Okay, and this is a fun page. Here we have another paper clip with authentic newspaper from 1950 about Ginger Rogers in Perfect Strangers. And this is an etching that I did from this page. And I just put the tea-dyed, it's a blue paper, I just put it over here, and you take the edge of your pencil like back in the day and you just rub and you get, because it's all texture, so you have another little piece of ephemera and you can make it into a little journaling card or something else, or an idea for you to run with. So I just have this little goodie clipped onto this office page. So there's two from the newspaper and there's two side clips with lace. So there's a touch of lace in here, but it's not overpowering. And here, this little pocket. And I saw this idea on a couple of different channels, and I don't remember who from, but I took the idea and I altered it up a little bit and did a bunch of scoring so it's flexible. But inside you just pull it open, and instead of book pages I used vintage ledger sheets, and I folded them over so you've got more stability on the edges so they don't tear. So you've got this pocket back here, and 2 and 3 and 4. So you can put more goodies in here. And then it just closes with the string and the buttons. And this is a waxed cording. It's kind of thick, easy to hang on to. Just me and my big fumble fingers. There we go. so that is my journal. I love it, and I hope that you love it. I'm going to put it in my Etsy shop, and when I'm filming this, Etsy's having some problems. It's not working right now, so I'm hoping that when this video is published, Etsy will be back on board again. But I want to thank you so much for watching, and have a creative day.